from K2 Concepts doing a real quick walkthrough of the new shop. A lot of you guys requested saying, you know, how the layout is and some other, you know, unique things that we've done for our shop. So this is it. Anyhow, this is the front door. We're in a nice little business park. You can kind of do a pan around real quick. Got a shooting range right across from us, so I'm sure plenty of those guys will be coming to us. You can hear them going at it. A little Corona for the haters. All right, come on in. This is our office. A little bit of stock here. Mailing supplies, stuff like that. A lot of teaching tools that we pull out and when we're doing our the classes and stuff like that. So a lot of training tools are already locked up in here, ready to go. Come on through. We have the microwave, fridge, obviously for the beer. Nice restroom in there. The layout worked really nice for us this time around, mainly because we were able to plan it out before we moved in. Last time we moved in and then we tried to make the shop work. So we pushed the booths as far forward as we could in order to give us as much loading space out there as we can. If you'll notice, we had to install a sprinkler loop for each booth. That's the new code. So one per, and that's to isolate the booths from the rest of the building. So if you were to have a fire, you could crank the valve down here, shut off the booth, and still have fire protection for the rest of the building. Unfortunately, because we got two booths, we have two loops. So that was kind of pricey, something we weren't really expecting, but you gotta do what you gotta do. All the electrical's done real nice. Come on through. We've got the two booths. We used to have dedicated clear booths. We don't anymore. We're just finishing up this one. Got a clear part in here. Spoiler we did the other day. Once we pull, obviously, the blue tape off the lights, it's going to be a little bit brighter in here. And then we have the other paint booth over here. And obviously clearing some parts in here too. So nice. It worked out really nice for us. We have two loops. First loop up here is for our guns. The second is for the hood. We have air supplies, respirators. So we had to bring in two lines. We could have plugged it all into one, but we like the option of racking the gun and still being able to move around a little bit. So that's why we did it that way. And that's obviously in both booths. So come around here. This is my station. Obviously we got the CT30 here, 5-stage air filter, and then to two lines going into the booths. Drip leg right here, just so any sediment comes in. But the CT30s are pretty awesome. Paint stock, you know, cleaning everything. So it actually turned out real nice. Shut off valves for everything, so we can isolate and change out our canisters when we need to. That's about it for this one. Let's go this way. This is my airbrush station. This is kind of mobile. It's a little bit new for us. We used to have it fixed in the other place, but I kind of like the idea of being able to pull this into a booth or in any other location that we needed to be airbrushing. So we set it up, a little regulator mounted on it, all our supplies, and then we can just pull this around, including the sonic cleaner for the airbrushes. And we got a couple here. We've got, I don't know, 6 or 7 more somewhere. But so that was nice. And let's see, keep moving on. This is Nico Station, same setup. He's got his gloves. He's got another CT30 that we can blank off if we need to, and change out the canisters. So he's all set up. Mag for the filters, so it can tell when we need to change them out. Then we move into the dipping area. And the wall was existing here. We didn't realize at the time whether or not we were going to use it, but it's pretty cool. I think it's nice. It sets up, differentiates the area without having two shops. And we can actually air condition or heat the dipping area, because the problem when you have your booths on is that they pull all the heat or the air conditioning out of the building. By being able to isolate this, the only guys that are really uncomfortable are the painters, and we can dictate that by scheduling too. I mean, if it's too hot out, they can come early in the morning, they can come later on in the afternoon or the evening when everybody's out of here, without drastically affecting the circumstances that our dippers and well, basically my son and my wife work under. So, that being said, nice workstation. This is our prep area. We've got the sink here that we wash and, you know, if we got degrease or whatever. Obviously the rolling racks. This is our rinse station. And then we have our tank. We have a really nice exhaust fan over it. If you watch real carefully, you can see the curtains pull in. So that's how much of a negative pressure that it pulls. So that's really nice for the guy that's on the tank, or both of my wife and my son when they're in here. They're not getting, you know, hot boxed by the, you know, the activator. So it pulls really nice negative pressure. So much so that we actually had to seal up the holes that were punctured through that weren't being used, because it was pulling sawdust and insulation out of the holes. That's how nice it works. You know, pattern table. I went ahead and put a CT30 on my son's gun run for the tank. Maybe a little bit overkill, but at least we're never ever going to have to worry about water getting into this side. We have a nice loop. All the drops they go up 18 inches. So, and we have sediment trap legs on each one of them. But we never had water out of this system. It's crazy. You invest on the front end how much it affects your product. So I'm a firm believer in that. And we'll come out, we'll take a look at the loop real quick. And I think that's about it. Got a nice 200 amp 3-phase panel, 100 amp single phase panel. And then this is we're pretty proud of this. Got the compressor inside. It's actually not that loud, not as loud as you would think it is. So the compressor's inside, ties in. This other compressor is mainly storage, just like the last setup that we had. So we basically got 200 pounds of air online without everything else. Runs up, jumps into this loop. Then the trusses actually lean towards the front of the building. So we went in high, went through about 110 feet, 120 feet of loop. So that gives the air time to cool down, shed the water, drop down over here. And we have a drip leg over here to where all the air comes down here through this drip leg first, and then back into the rest of the loop. So you have an equalized loop, and then up here we have a T right there. So there's your T, goes in, breaks off both ways to the rest of the loop. And then at that point, it picks up the rest of the building. So it's an equalized loop. It's really nice. I mean, I was surprised. You spend a couple, you know, it was probably about $500-600 easy in copper without the labor. But by doing it this way, it pretty much shed everything, all the water and everything else. So really nice. I'm really happy with everything. This is a future run, so we're gonna set up the sandblaster over here later on. our blast cabinet, or whatever you want to talk about, and that'll help us as we move forward into different coatings and stuff like that. So that's it. That's K2 walk around. I hope I was very concise. Any questions, comments, leave them below. Join us on the forum, k2forums.com. Little Corona for the haters. You can email me at k2forums@gmail.com. And that's it for the new K2 shop. I hope you guys are having a good time dipping. Talk to you later.